Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here and welcome to our virtual college visit series. My name is Mrs. Edwards and I am the career counselor with both Atlee and Patrick Henry High Schools. And we also have Mrs. Corbin here today.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mrs. Corbin. I'm the career counselor at Hanover High School and Mechanicsville High School, formerly Lee Davis High School. Great to be here.
And we are really fortunate to have Ms. Moore here with us today from Old Dominion University. She is going to share some great information with you all and go over a lot of detail about the college admissions process there, the student life, and all of the good things. So we are going to hand it over to Ms. Moore in just a moment. I do want to mention that if you have questions throughout today, if you could add them into the chat as we go, and we'll make sure that we get to them. And then also at the end, we will open it up for a question and answer as well. So with that, I will go ahead and hand it over to Ms. Moore to get us started. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon. Thank you so much to Ms. Edwards and Ms. Corbin for being so gracious as to host Old Dominion this afternoon for a virtual session. My name is TeCarla Moore. I'm the specific admissions counselor for all of Hanover County. Normally, I would join you in person at your individual schools, but during these times, we have a nice virtual platform for you to enjoy. On your screen, you will see a QR code at the bottom underneath our logo. If you're interested in scanning that QR code with your phone camera or any mobile device to get joined into our mailing list, that's your contact card. That's what I would hand out normally if I would see you. I've also put the bit.ly link in the chat. So if you're not able to scan the code now because you're watching on your phone or whatnot, you can just do the bit.ly and that will also get you connected to our list. So I want to make sure we count for you and make sure you're interested in joining with ODU. Just to get us started, in case I have people in the room that are not completely familiar with us and our background, Old Dominion is a top national research institution. We're actually your largest option in the Southeast Hampton Roads Tidewater region of Virginia. We are a public institution that is a medium-large size that's known for things in the STEM-H field. So you'll notice at ODU, you're going to see a lot of labs, you're going to see a lot of research projects, you're going to see a lot of new construction, new buildings. We're always adding and renovating and incorporating a lot of resources to our campus. And then also this campus is not only known for being one of the most innovative places to learn in the Commonwealth, but also one of the most diverse places to learn as well in the state and on the East Coast. So we're excited that you're interested. Hopefully you've been connecting with ODU and learning a little bit more about us during these times. Next, I just want to go into a little bit about where we're located. You may or may not know we are directly in the city of Norfolk. Norfolk is the second largest city next to Virginia Beach in our coastal Virginia area. If you are one that likes the coast, you like the water, you like the beach, you like being, in coastal living, you may enjoy ODU's setup. From the photo you see, our campus is probably in that left corner of the campus, which is right around the outside of downtown. So you'll see the downtown area in your forefront, the Waterside Marina area, and the Norfolk Naval Station to your right, which is the largest naval station in the world. So you are amongst a lot of culture, a lot of government, a lot of diversity, a lot of waterways, just opportunities to really get to know the city and the area. The city in this area is really conducive to jobs. Economy is great. You're going to see a lot of opportunities to shadow, volunteer. We really want you to not only get to know ODU, but what's this Norfolk, Virginia Beach area all about? So I encourage families and students to really research and learn a little bit about the city as well. Next, our strategic marketing office has put together just a quick YouTube blurb that will kind of give us an idea of what to expect on campus. Oops, sorry, that was my bad. There we go. Awesome. So just some of the things I really want to pull from that viewing is things like innovation, determination, affordability, diversity, veterans. All of these things are kind of your nuggets that people incorporate ODU's opportunity with and really want to see in their experience. Next, we can go over some of the demographics. I often get asked, Ms. Moore, what about the numbers? How big are you? How many majors do you have? Well, you can see we are home to about 25,000 monarchs and growing. You'll probably find about 18 to 20,000 roughly will step foot on our Norfolk campus any given day. The remaining balance are monarchs that are learning virtually or away from campus. You are fortunate in your area. We have several campuses around the Richmond area. We are on the campus of John Tyler. We're also on the campus of J. Sargent Reynolds. ODU online and distance learning is very, very prevalent. So people can seek their degrees from anywhere at ODU. You'll notice there's 98 bachelors. Within those bachelors, you'll find everything from the arts all the way to the sciences, to business, whatever you're seeking. There are, of course, a 17-to-1 student to faculty ratio. Great ratio for a school of our size. Often people get intimidated by the big schools, the big number. They still want that small school feel. So 17-to-1 gives you a happy medium. You'll notice your classes, when you get into a major, you're looking at about 30 to 35 students on average that sit in your classrooms. So not so much unusual from what you may have seen. And then also the physical land, 335 acres of complete flat land. We are on the coast. There's no hills, mountains, bumps, anything. The backyard to ODU is the Elizabeth River watershed, so we have a little beach. And then also you'll notice it's a rectangular campus, so you can get anywhere on our campus in 5 to 15 minutes by foot, skateboard, longboard, bike, scooter. Wheels are very friendly around these types of settings. So we do want you to kind of imagine the type of atmosphere you would fit best in and what you're looking for when you're comparing schools and just looking at the opportunities. To go a little bit deeper into majors, I often introduce ODU as a STEM-H research institution, which is true. We are on the forefront of technology and engineering and computer science and all things medicine. We are one of those schools that's what people often look at. Some big nuggets: marine biology, of course, being by the coast. You will notice now we have a new esports major that's joined the roster. We are really big on everything cybersecurity, cyber crime, homeland security, government contracts, things like that. Often I do talk about the STEM, but I don't want to dim the lights on the liberal arts. I know people like dance and theater and music and, political science and criminal justice. Those are also very popular at ODU. I encourage you to look at everything. The beauty of it is we don't admit by major. We're not depending on what you put on your major to make our admissions decision. So you will have time to think about it, maybe take some general courses first and really explore what's in the catalog before you actually hone in on something specific. But if you already know what you want, that's great. That means you can hit the ground running. I do recommend connecting virtually with ODU. Our academic partners are doing sessions. So if you want to hear from engineering, or you want to hear from the arts, or you want to hear from sciences, they're going to display what they're working on. They're going to tell you about their classroom settings. They're going to talk about the faculty. That's a great way for you to connect and really learn about opportunities with ODU's academics. And to piggyback on academics, I don't want to be remiss and leave out the resources. Often families and students want to know what resources are on your campus to assist students with being successful and retaining. ODU is really big on resources. Our main library has over 2 million publications, recordings, articles, different types of things you can download and resource. You'll also notice a complete student success center on this campus. That's everything from writing center, tutoring center, that's your honors college. We also have an educational accessibility in case you need accommodations while you are at ODU as well. ODU is really big with first generation student services. We have an entire strategic team dedicated to first generation students. How can we help you succeed? How can we be a part of these conversations with your families and with your schools? There's also a lot you can do culturally and organizationally. We're always putting together programming, offering just free things. We want you to be a successful monarch, not just get here, go to class and go hide. We do want to help you. We want to walk you through, and faculty are involved just as much as student services. Also on top of the academics and the resources is the career piece. I know in the back of mom and dad's head, it's what is this degree going to do for you? How are you going to break into the career of your choice? Are you going to grad school? Are you going to med school? What happens with the ODU degree? Well, career development is here for all things jobs, whether you want to work part-time while you're at ODU, maybe you need help seeking, resume websites or how to format your resume. There's also a liaison for each of the 7 colleges that works in career. So there is somebody specifically for the sciences, specifically for the engineers, specifically for the arts. Their job to go between you and employers. What are you looking for? Where should they be marketing? Who needs internships? Who's hiring? And then once you become an ODU alum, you can still use the services of career. They'll help you with your resume, dressing for success, public speaking, interview etiquette, and then just making sure that you know how to market yourself. I know the biggest thing is getting yourself out there so that people know what types of experiences you have. I do recommend doing a drop-in Zoom with them or just connecting with career right from the beginning so you can see what opportunities might await you at ODU. Another big question on all of our minds is student life. What is it like to be a Monarch? Some of you may have family, friends, cousins, mom or dad, your favorite teacher, somebody went to ODU, somebody loves ODU, somebody wants ODU. So I'm here to tell you, student life is very exciting. There's over 300 clubs and organizations, whether you want marching band, a dance team, a choir, a musical group, maybe you're a veteran services person, you want to volunteer. Greek life, over 30 chapters of fraternities and sororities. There's also 14 housing options. We are building a 15th hall as we speak. The Hugo Owens House will open in 2021, bringing even more beds to ODU's campus. 17 dining locations, foodies in the room. You will love this. We've added a Qdoba, a Steak and Shake, a Panera, and a Chipotle all within one semester. There is no lack of food. Every time I go back to campus, there's a new food place open. So lots of food, lots of activities, lots of opportunities to get involved. You can live on campus. Another note, freshmen, if you are a first-year freshman, you're guaranteed housing. No questions, no ifs, ands, and buts about it. You are the priority, so you are guaranteed housing. If you take it, then you are also grandfathered in for next year. You have sophomore housing too. So we do encourage people to consider. However, you don't have to live on our campus. There's no living mandate for Old Dominion. It's not, because you're a freshman, you have to be here. We perfectly welcome online learners or commuters. So you're welcome to take that as you will. And of course, check out leadership and student activities for all the different things you can get involved in. To piggyback on getting involved, we also have a quick video that will showcase one of our signature events, just to show you what campus is like. We'll give YouTube a minute. Sometimes it likes to lag or not play. We'll give it a minute. And if it doesn't load, I'll go ahead and move on. No. Okay, so it looks like it doesn't want to load for me. So I will send this link to Ms. Corbett and Ms. Edwards to post for you all as well. Moving on to athletics, you can see Division I athletics at ODU. There are 18 intercollegiate teams. ODU plays on the Conference USA division. So if you're wondering, NCAA, you do have to be a scholarshiped and recruited athlete to partake. So make sure you are registered with the clearinghouse. If you are not interested in D1 athletics, you can still partake in club or intramurals. So feel free to partake through odusports.com. You'll also notice our student rec center. There is 15,000 square feet of workout space. There's an Olympic-sized pool, a 2-story rock climbing wall, and an indoor track, all at your disposal through ODU. We also have practice facilities, different sporting events that happen. As a Monarch, you can attend a sporting event for free. All you need is your student ID. You get your ticket. You can also use your ID for discounts for family and friends. You'll notice some new things. ODU has a brand new football stadium. It just debuted last August, so it's a little over a year old. We also have a 2-year-old basketball practice facility. We have a new hitting complex for baseball. There's just a lot of shiny things on our campus in terms of athletics and activity. So we hope that you would spectate or get to know a little bit more about how you can partake in athletics as well. And now the big slide on admissions. I'll get asked more, what about admissions? Everybody wants to know about test scores, test optional. I'm sure Ms. Corbin and Ms. Edwards hear this all the time about admission. As you can see, ODU, nothing's changed. We are still on the Common App. We are still on the ODU app, as we have been for several years. ODU does have a $50 application fee. If you have a fee waiver or need one, we're welcome to help you with that, and you can use it online. So everything is very seamless. Keep in mind, you do have to, of course, provide your high school transcript. That's standard for admission. We are completely test optional at ODU. We've been test optional. You probably heard me say this last year. You'll hear me say it again next year. We are completely test optional. You do not need a test score to be considered for admission. So no need to run out and test. If you don't want to, you don't have a score, you don't need to. However, we do allow you to self-report. So if you have a score that's out there or you've tested and you know what you got, you can self-report that to your application. We will have to, however, collect that official score just to verify that what you self-reported is exactly what we are going to see from the College Board, SAT, or ACT. So keep that in mind if you choose to self-report. You will still be reviewed for merit scholarships without your test score. Those of you that have scores, you're still going to be reviewed too. We are completely fair in this. We understand people are not testing, can't test, don't want to test, aren't good test takers, but others are. So we're just going to honor it either way. You'll see at the bottom, December 1st and February 1st, non-binding, non-committal early action for ODU. Early action just means you want to be the first to hear back and the first to be considered for merit scholarships. You will be hearing back generally around mid-January, mid to late is average for ODU, sometimes earlier, so surprise if you can get that decision back earlier. And then February 1st, mid to late March is average to start hearing back. Great time because it still gives you all the way until May to think about the offer, discuss it with your family, compare, learn. You know, there's no rush. You're not feeling like you have pressure to lock into ODU. So we really like giving you a lot of time. And then also keep in mind with your decisions comes your merit scholarship award. So families are getting one letter, one packet with congratulations, this is what you're being offered. The only thing you would be waiting for is your separate financial aid award. So we just want to make sure people are all clear on how the awarding goes, what's going to happen. After we pass the published deadlines, you are still going to be admitted on a rolling basis until we fill the freshman class. So until the full Monarch roster is packed out, we will continue to admit and offer decisions. So this gives families who may have thought they were going somewhere else a little bit more flexibility. Maybe something happens, they have that second chance. So we are in the business of admission and making sure that you are comfortable with getting into our process. Of course, all this information is on our website. And of course, we'll keep you up to date with your apps as you're going through the process. Of course, lastly is a slide from finance. What does it cost? People want to know what the cost is, you know, talk about the money when it comes to colleges. As you can see, ODU is still one of your most low and affordable price tags that you will see in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Public institution, we have not received an increase in tuition in several years, thanks to our lovely higher ed budget in Virginia. But you'll notice as well, the prices are per year. It is not per semester, it's for the whole kit and caboodle with ODU. If you're living on campus, that includes your residence hall, your meals, everything, 1 year's worth. If you decide to live off campus, maybe you're at home or you're online learning, tuition only, that's off campus. So keep in mind, this is before any scholarships, before any grants, before any financial aid. This is the most a person would expect to pay. So families can start to budget. On our website, you will see a tuition calculator, net price calculator, where you can plug in your numbers. If you're getting, 5 different scholarships and you have this amount and this amount, you can plug that in and just show your families what it will cost you to attend ODU. So we're excited to bring affordability and realistic prices to families, especially during this time. And that's made ODU very attractive to a lot of people. So do ask any questions you have regarding finance and financial aid. Lastly, I just wanted to, of course, reiterate how to contact us. You can see here ODU admissions, the email address and the phone number at the bottom, as well as our social media accounts, the QR code in the corner if you wanted to connect with us through our mailing list or use the bit.ly that I put in the chat. I did want to, of course, at this time, quit talking you all to death and let you ask questions. So at this time, I'm happy to entertain any questions.
And I just want to,
welcome
sorry.
To use the chat.
Yes, I just want to.
Go ahead, Ms. Edwards. I was going to say.
You all can put them in the chat if you do have any questions. If you could add them in there for us. Ms. Moore, I do have a question since I'm already on screen here. I'm going to ask you rather than putting it in the chat. But for students that just want to share, I guess, you know, in any way, shape, or form that how the current environment that we're in, COVID, how that might have impacted them. You know, the classes that they're in, anything related to that. Is the best place to put that into the common application, or what would you recommend?
That's a good question, Ms. Edwards. Yes, I would recommend using the essay section because ODU doesn't have a prompt or a specified essay topic. That's a great space to just kind of put info in, anything you want the committee or, you know, whomever's looking at your application, anything you want them to know that we may not be able to pick up on outside of your application portal. That's a great space to just throw anything in there or to write up something that you may want to share. And that's a great question. We do welcome that.
Thank you. I do see one question that came in. It says, what are the GPA standards for ODU?
Awesome. So Brainiel, thank you so much for that question. ODU doesn't have one hardcore GPA that you have to have. We're a state school. So as you can imagine, we are seeing GPAs all over the place. Everybody applies to ODU, from public to private to international to West Coast to East Coast. Most of our students, I'd say on average, come in around the 3.2 to 3.3 range. That seems to be like the one median that pops up whenever we run a report. That's the average, but we get, 25 to 30% of people above that and 25 below. So people are really all over. I would say just making sure you're kind of in that B average, B to C average. I mean, we're not asking you for 4.5. We understand, we're a state institution. We're going to admit people that are not always spot on the average, but most people hover around that if that helps you. But it does not speak to who will get admitted or how we're going to work with this year's applicant pool as well. And that's a great question. Thank you. Other thoughts or questions, feel free to pop those in. Thank you. I appreciate it. I will, of course, also plug our virtual engagement page on odu.edu. You can go there and see that we're hosting some virtual open house events and other fun things that you can connect with. Abby is asking about the graduation rate. Thanks, Abby. ODU is graduating right around the 55 to 60th percentile, which is above the national average for colleges. Taking into consideration, we have a lot of military, a lot. So the largest naval base in the world is in Norfolk. Many people cannot stay at ODU for 4 years. Their parents get deployed or stationed out, or they may come midway through. We get a lot of transfer students. Graduation rates are based on 4 years of a person staying from freshman all the way through senior year with no breaks. So colleges have to be really careful in how they calculate that, keeping in mind that it's also a 4 to 6 year rate because many people are taking more than 4 years to get their degrees or they're going directly through to a master's program. So I'd say we're hovering, right at that 55 to 60th percent. Check out colleges in America. That's usually what you'll see for most institutions. Thank you for that. Other questions, thoughts, comments?
You might have answered this already, but for scholarship deadlines, are scholarship deadlines any sooner, or are they automatically considered for scholarships whenever they apply, or do they need to apply early for that?
That's a good question, Ms. Corbin. So with admissions specifically, we only handle the merit scholarships. and that happens when they apply for admission. So you apply, you're automatically considered for anything merit, and merit just means based on GPA and test scores. Anything else may come separate. So if you're out there doing scholarship searches, we have some links out there on our website under financial aid for different organizations, endowed scholarships, private, public. Those may have different deadlines. So students, make sure you're not missing anything out there that's extra outside of what admissions handles. And then also your FAFSA, your free application for federal student aid, will throw in more. So as you're filling out your FAFSA, you'll get the state aid and the federal aid, grants, things like that. That's a good question. Other questions, thoughts, comments, topics I might have missed?
I think that about covers it, Miss Moore. Thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate it. This is extremely great presentation and great information for students, parents, for us school counselors as well. A lot of good questions I thought today. So thank you guys for participating. It always helps our discussion to have questions and answers. And if you had the question, most likely other people did too. So appreciate that. And Ms. Moore, again, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Ms. Edwards. Thank you, Ms. Corbin. And you all can feel free to reach out to me. I did put my personal contact info in the chat. So that way, if questions arise later and you need to know who your point person is at ODU, you can certainly email or give me a call. I'm happy to chat one-on-one with people as well.
All right. Well, thank you. We look forward to working with you this school year, and we will be in touch.
Awesome. Thank you. Everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Bye, everyone. Have a great weekend. Thanks for joining us.